Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberly Wright. Welcome to Word Up, the class about spoken word, poetry, and short stories. All right, we're going to jump right into our lesson. I hope everybody is feeling great today and awake. And if you do not consent to being recorded on the video, please turn your video off. However, keep in mind that this is a way for us to stay active and to stay socialized, to be socialized with each other. All right, so our lessons for last week, don't forget to have paper and an ink pen or pencil handy. You always need your pad and paper. That's the most important thing, to jot down any lessons or any ideas, brainstorming that you would like. Last week we were discussing riddle poems and I wish poems. So riddle poems are a great way to stimulate your brain while indulging in poetry simultaneously. We can all learn a lot from poetic riddles, especially those of us who enjoy artful poetry. Poem riddles have a long and storied history, appearing in many different types of ancient and medieval literature. For example, the Vikings used poetry riddles as a form of social interaction for what is documented as hunting and fear. Evidence of the Vikings' traditional use of the riddle type is found in many places today, including certain dialects of modern English language. So did anyone get a chance to write any riddle poetry last week? Yes, no? All right, so we're gonna just go through a few of those just to stimulate your brain and get you back on track of what I'm speaking about. All right. How about this one? This is called A Mouth That Cannot Drink. Has a mouth but cannot drink. Has a head but cannot think. It has a tongue but not a lung. Some are held and some are hung. What am I speaking of?
What? Oh my goodness. My mouth. How do y'all get too big?
Hundred, Big Myers, you have to unmute yourself, love. Miss. Okay, 1 second, sorry. Okay, there you are.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Oh, a shoe. I think it's a shoe.
That's a good answer, though. I like that answer. Miss Gloria, you unmuting yourself? Just touch this. Okay. One more time. Has a mouth but cannot drink. Has a head but cannot think. Has a tongue but not a lung. Some are held and some are hung.
Flowers.
It's a bell, Miss Gloria Bell.
Yeah. Long. That's what lost me.
All right, it's no problem. So this next one is called This Colorful Bird. This Colorful Bird. Sometimes if a riddle has a title, that is giving you a cue as to a clue. Cue to a clue, that rhymed. All right, so goofy. This colorful bird. If you ever hear an echo, another voice can be heard. Take a look around you because it might be this colorful bird.
That's it.
Parrot.
Yes, it's a parrot. Good job. Who said that?
I did.
Oh, Miss Betty Cohen. Okay, that's really good. Good job. Miss Vicky, I liked your answer about the shoe too. That was really good. It just wasn't the right answer, but however, we're gonna keep moving around. Okay. All right. So this is a neck that's long. A neck that's long. This is not a giraffe, but it has a neck that's long. It's something with 6 strings, and it's used to play a song.
Violin?
A who?
Violin. Nope.
Gotta be guitar?
It's a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a guitar. It's in the string family.
Okay.
Good answer, though. That was a good answer. All right. We're going to do about 2 more. This is called the Sun Bakery. The Sun, S-U-N, Bakery. The sun bakes them. The hand breaks them. The foot treads them. And the mouth tastes them. What is the answer?
Can we hear it once again, Miss Wright?
No problem. It's called the Sun Bakery, S-U-N, the sun in the sky. Sun Bakery. The sun bakes them. The hand breaks them. The foot treads them. And the mouth tastes them.
Good.
What was the answer?
Sugar cane?
Sunbeam.
Y'all so still.
Sunbeam.
Sugar cane?
The answer is grapes.
Grapes.
Oh,
The sun bakes them, the hand breaks them, the foot treads them, because you know you stump on grapes.
To make wine.
And make, yeah.
So I said we're going to do 1 more, and that'll be it for today, for the riddles. Y'all doing it good? Y'all doing it good?
I have one, Kim.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, mine is a little easy. Okay, what am I? I move so fluidly from what's seen above. I glide like falling fruit, or perhaps like jewels. I roll downward like balls, always plurals. Over 2 paired and split by smells and smiles below. From laughter and pain, we all know.
Water?
Raindrops.
Anybody else? Teardrops.
I was going to say tears.
Pain. From laughter and pain, we all know teardrops come. And it says, smells and 2 paired, that's cheeks. I looked up the word cheeks. And split by smells. The raindrops fall by your nose and your cheeks. I mean, the teardrops.
That was really good.
And smiles when it come down by your mouth. And you lick your tears.
That's really good because I like your poetic flow. The rhythm of the poem is really good and very vivid. Anyone else? So you still have a chance to write one of those poems. If you want me to write in the chat the poems that we've already done, what you can do is, if you just started the class, you can research the poems and see what the instructions are, or also you can email me to say what poem you're interested in, and I can respond back as to what it is that you need to do. However, so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have done 5 particular types of poetry or writings. However, I do want to go back on 2 of them because I feel like the lesson on them wasn't really clear as it pertains to the participation that I received from it. So, and then another thing is it's not really about the participation. It could be simply that maybe you all wasn't interested. So however, I'm about to just put it in the chat, if you want to touch your screen and look at the bottom of the chat, you'll see some of the lessons that we've had. So I'm about to do that now. All right. So one was the haiku poem. The second one was, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I should have wrote the whole list. Free verse. Three was acrostic. 4 were the limericks. And then the 5th one was the short story. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the 6th and 7th one was riddle poem. And 7 I wish poem. All right. So that's the chat for that. And also, once again, for those of you that need my contact, here is my email address. It's kimberly.wright@fultoncountyga.gov. All right. So back to our lesson. Okay. Let's turn this back. So I wish poetry is about 8 to 10 lines. Each sentence begins with I wish and continues with wishful ideas. It does not have to rhyme. Remember that, young people. So let us write an I wish poem. Let's brainstorm. Think of at least 10 different wishes. They could be as realistic as I wish I could eat candy for breakfast, or as abstract as I wish I could be the sun so I could shine all day and it would never rain. You want to brainstorm, thinking of different ideas of how you would like the world to be, things of your everyday wishes. Wish you had a lot of money, wishing things for others. Just be creative. So the next thing you want to do after you brainstorm is put the poem into lines, which would be equivalent to 8 to 10 lines. However, I'm going to read an I wish poem right now. So give me a second. All right. So did anyone get a chance to write an I wish poem? Yes, no? All right. Here's an I wish poem. It's called I Wish I Could. I wish I could see you one more time, just to know how you are 3 years down the line. I wish we could talk, wish you'd send me a sign. I think of you daily, dear mother of mine. I replay the days, the hurt and the pain, never forgotten, wish I could see you again. So even though that particular poem rhymed, I guess they wanted to have a certain flow to get the gist of the type of mood that they were trying to put across. So I'm gonna read one more, and then if anyone has something to share, we're going to listen to that. I wish I could do everything right. I wish I were the perfect person. I wish I were whole and ideal. I wish that I lived life with no cries. I wish I could hear the birds sing as they fly. I wish life was just a half an hour game. I wish I were a person who is never to blame. I wish life was full of happiness with nothing to hinder thee. I wish life was just flawless and a single path. I wish I could sleep at night with no worries to overwhelm. I wish people would for once stop hostility and unite. I wish everything could be solved without a brutal fight. All right. So anybody have any I wish poems to share?
I didn't know it was 8 lines. I only have 5 lines.
Okay, well, at any time you can still share your poem, but just to finish the lesson, you can add those 3 later. We still here, so you still got work to do. Miss Jean Harris, unmute yourself, love. Are you able to unmute? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, mine is short too. I just dashed it out, thinking about all these murders and shootings and unrest. I said, I wish that the world were peaceful. I wish that humanity felt the need to care for each other as a brother or a sister.
Okay, so you got 2 lines. That's great. So you're gonna
Yeah.
to build on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 to 10 lines. That's really, really good. Miss Vicky, you ready?
Yes, I have a universal wish. That's
Hold
what
on.
I
I'm so
said.
sorry. So sorry to interrupt you, Miss Vicky. Miss Jean, did they have a title or you probably?
No, I just did it when you were talking. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
I'll work on it.
All right, Miss Vicky.
Okay, it's called a universal wish. I wish well when all is said and done. I wish the corona sickness had never come and had fun. I wish it had never played all kinds of tricks. I wish it had never tried to make us sick. I wish that all corona sickness would fly away. I wish it to have fun in another universe some other day.
That's really, really wonderful.
But you know, I noticed you said there should be sentences about different things, but I had like a continuation of the pattern.
No, I didn't necessarily say it had to be different things. I was just trying to open up the thought process to say that it can be about one subject, or you can have a poem about wishing about different things. It does not have to rhyme. It just has to have 8 to 10 lines. Those are the only rules for that particular poem. It just has to have 8 to 10 lines, and each line supposed to start with I wish. So yes. All right. So do you want to continue on these 2 poems next week, or you all want me to add another lesson? Miss Jean?
Yeah, when I left you guys, we were working on acrostics. I don't know what happened to me, but I wasn't there.
It's
but,
okay.
But I wrote an acrostic for my father,
okay,
who's gone on, and I'd like to share it if you guys will listen.
Yes, please give me 1 second. So for the people that don't know, acrostic poems are started with 1 word. And the word could be flower. So flower is written vertically up and down on the paper, Flower, and you write the poem from the letters of Flower. The poem generally would be speaking of flowers, being that that's the subject of the poem. So you have to kind of really listen to what Ms. Jean is saying, and she's going to start out by telling us what the word is.
Hello.
Okay. The word is father.
Okay.
I'm a daddy girl, so I'm an only child, but I adored my father. F, family leader. A, always able and available when needed. T, tough and yet tender. H, helping whenever needed. E, an expression of love and energy. R, ready whenever and reliable to everyone. The word is father, the one who holds my heart, my first love, the man I love.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
You got a sitting ovation.
Well, thanks. A sitting ovation. That's better than a standing one.
Well, I stand for it too. Actually, it's really, 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 really thoughtful and really good. I'm sure
Thank you.
all relate to it in some sense or another, even if we don't have a father that we're close to, we probably dreamt of it or experienced someone having a really great father.
Thank you.
Really, really beautiful. Make sure, young people, that you try to purchase a journal. If you have, I'm sure some people have books on their shelves. We got journals that we never use. I just have a few different kinds here. Sometimes journals cost $5 at discount stores. They're $10. You want to compile your writings in these journals when you have completely revised, and actually went over the poem to the point that you're satisfied with it and it has a good flow, rhythm, and rhyme. And please compile them in your books. You can share them with others. You can get the books published. You can sell your poetry, and again, just use poetry in celebrations, for speeches, all sorts of things. So if you have any suggestions for the class as it pertains to what you all would like to do, please feel free to say it on the video or our class, in our class time, or even put it in the chat, or if you want to be private with your suggestions, you can email me. Does anyone have anything else to share? We have a few more. Yes, Ms. Vicky, go for it.
I tried to read something different. Since I knew we were going to have this class, I tried to read some older works like Uncle Remus. And it is very difficult because when they phrase things in his writings, the little short stories and the poetry was in the old Negro dialect.
Mm-hmm.
And they would use words like dat, D-A-T, and gwine, like G-W-I-N-E, gwine over here, come over here, the old Southern dialect. So it caught my interest in terms of how language has changed in terms of how, like George Chandler Harris depicted the way Black people speak. And I find it so interesting that the language in terms of the humor and the rhyme has changed. That's sort of insulting when you read Uncle Remus. Is very derogatory of Black people in terms of the ability to tell a story and make it something other than horrible.
I agree with everything that you're saying. However, if you open up and even also think of it on another level, if you look at the way we speak today, some people still speak like that. Like that. You heard me say like that?
Yeah, we did.
But you don't say this here and that there and fur.
Some people do.
A lot of people do. That's why I was just laughing when you first started saying that people dialect has changed. Actually, when you read Uncle Remus and other writings like that, sometimes you tend to overpronounce what you're reading or pronounce it really strong, what you're reading, because you're trying to get the gist, like you said, it's so confusing of what they're actually talking about. But however, when we speak to each other, if you actually listen to some people, especially people from the South, and people from up north, sometimes to me, make it seem like that they don't speak like people from the South, but they got Southern roots all in their genes from their parents being from the South. Or you'll see it here, a lot of people up north saying, oh, my parents are from the South, or I got a lot of people from South Carolina or here and there, because people migrate from the South. That I really do feel like a lot of people do have broken English and speak like that. And then not only that, we came into what we call Ebonics, and people having broken English just because of miseducation or no education. So that's a really good subject that you brought up. But did you say you wanted to read some writings in the class like that in the future?
Well, we might want to some of the dialects, because I see we have haiku, free verse, acoustic, and acrostic. But sometimes the different forms of dialect and some of the old works and how poetry has changed.
So remember, young people, sorry to interrupt you, you have to get into the habit of reading other poetry and other works as well. So that would be a great idea to read some of Uncle Remus's work. If you find something that's not that long, because our class is only 30 minutes, then feel free to be prepared to share that with us one day. And anybody else have any questions or comments? Yes, Miss Jean Harris.
I think Joel Chandler Harris stole again. Uncle Remus had the story, but Joel Chandler Harris, the white man, got all the money and they made, zippity doo dah and all that stuff. But it was Uncle Remus's story. So I think we should research and find more about Uncle Remus and not Joel Chandler Harris.
Yes, that's just what Miss Vicky was saying. And there are so many situations that are like that as it pertains to our knowledge being stolen and reused by others. So go ahead and please write one of these poems, or a few if you'd like, so that you can share next week. And we're going to have 2 extra lessons that I'm going to introduce to you next week. Thanks for putting your feelings and emotions out there and speaking up, speaking out in our class, Word Up. This class about short stories, poems, and poetry. Yes. Word up, everybody. Have a wonderful and blessed day. My name is Kimberly Wright. I'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Well done. Kimberly.
Thank you.
Love you, Kimberly.
Love y'all too.
All right.